just got this package today. Don't know what's in it. What? Live plants. Please handle with love. I don't even know what's in here. Go.
Bake a cake, roller skate, milk a cow, show me how. Banana split, camping trip, pet a frog, catch a fish. Sushi rolling, bonsai tree, custom doll accessories. Adventures just around the bend. Charli Can.
Welcome to Charli Can, and I just got this package today. I don't know what's in it. It says live plants, so it's a plant, and I don't know what's in it. So we're going to just be opening it and seeing what's in it. So, let's peel out the tape. What is this? See what this says. The living art of bonsai. You see? This is a bonsai tree. Oh my gosh. Look at it. It's so weird. I don't know. It's so cool. Okay, so let's just see the other stuff in it. There's a pot. And this is really nice. Set it. And we have a whole bunch of other cool stuff. So we have these bonsai pellets. I don't really know what it's called, but we set these there. This is so cool. And then we have, I think this is soil. So I don't really know what to do. I've never done a bonsai tree. And we have these things. And so let's just read the instructions and see what it says. I'm excited to try to do it. So this is a juniper bonsai tree. And we got this from the Bonsai Empire, not a sponsor. But this looks really cool. And I'm really excited to try to make a bonsai tree. So let's just look at their instructions and just try to do it. So, step 1. Your kit includes a tree, that's the tree, scissors, these are the scissors, wire, that's wire, substrate, I don't really know what that is. What? Substrate, which is like the new soil that we're going to be replacing that with. Fertilizer, which I think it's this. Then we have mesh and a pot. So let's just try to do it. So step 2, first we prepare the bonsai pot by attaching the mesh. This is the mesh. And preparing a long wire through the drainage holes. These are the drainage holes. This is the wire. And this is the mesh. So let's just try it. So what it looks like is they have both of the mesh parts here. So, and they have the wire going through it. So we're going to just put the wire through here. And if you decide, if you are doing a bonsai tree, you're gonna, like, it doesn't really matter what hole you put the wire through. It doesn't really matter. And this is really exciting. I've never made a bonsai tree, and I'm really excited. So, step 3. Take the tree out of its pot and remove any loose soil. So loose soil would be like just kind of soil that's not really packed in there. And we do not want to disturb the roots too much. Long roots can be pruned, which is like cut, kind of trimmed. but never remove over 20% of the roots. So we're just going to try to kind of take this out and try to do it carefully. It's really messy. So we're just gonna try to kind of just remove any. So this is like all loose soil. All of this is loose soil. And I'm kind of new to it, but if you're new to it too, I'm just, you'll understand that it's very messy. So this is what it will probably look like whenever you remove all the loose soil. So this is a juniper bonsai tree, and if you get a juniper, just be careful. They are very prickly, and they're pretty. They're pretty, and I'm just really excited to do it. I've always been wanting to do it, so I think this is pretty much it. Okay, so now we're on step 4, which we're gonna put it onto the side and wrap one wire the other way to keep it in place. Oops. And then you're gonna wrap one wire the other way to keep it in place. So now that we secure the root ball into our beautiful pot, so we're gonna move on to step 5 since we've secured it. So now it says step 5. Add substrate, aka soil. This is the substrate. And make sure all the air pockets are filled. So we're just gonna kind of push it in there really good so there's no air, so there's no more air. And then when done, we water the tree thoroughly. So basically we're just gonna kind of pour some of this in there, or yeah, just gonna pour some of it in there. Let's just start out. Let's just start out with a little bit for now, and then we can get more as we need it. So we need a little bit more though. This is really cool, isn't it? This is really awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and just pour a little bit more there. We have a little bit left. You don't really need that unless, unless you need a little bit more. So you can see this is what we have right now. There's a little bit of that still showing, but why don't you come up here and see what it looks like? Why don't you come over here? See what I'm doing. So right now I'm just kind of pushing it down so there's no more air. And you can add a little bit more if you need to. I'm just gonna add a teeny bit more. I don't really need that much more, but I'm just gonna add a little bit. So you wanna make sure that there's completely no air left. No air pockets. You're gonna wanna push it down like this. Make it look nice and pretty. It looks so nice, doesn't it? Oh, that is really cool. And I think that's pretty good. You can see a little bit of the wire. We cut some of the wire right there. See, it's cut. You don't need that much wire. Just use whatever is enough for your bonsai tree. And I'm just gonna kind of put a tiny bit more. We just need a little bit more over there. And this looks really awesome. So we just finished putting some soil here, or what we call substrate, or what is it called? Substrate. Cut it. So this is part 2. We just finished part 1, so now we're gonna move on to part 2. Part 2, pruning and wiring. So pruning would be like cutting the branches, and wiring would just be putting some wire over here around the branches. So let's go ahead and get started on that. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to trim some of the kind of long branches off. So why don't you come over here to see what I'm doing? So this branch over here is really long and kind of, I don't know, like kind of breaks the shape. So see this over here? We're going to go ahead and trim that. So make sure you have adult supervision when you cut it. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim that a little bit. It's kind of hard. So if you want to have a grown-up help you, that's perfectly fine. So, and this one's over here. It's kind of, you know, kind of just long. So we're going to go ahead and hold it there. Trim that. And a couple down here, like this one. And I really like the shape, so we're not going to be putting wiring on it. And wire is for if you want to kind of shape the branches a little bit more and train it to grow a certain way. But I already like the shape, so we're not going to be doing that. And I think that's really all. I think I'm going to cut about one more off. You see, that one over here is kind of long. I'm just going to cut that, trim it to be a little bit smaller. And there's a bonsai tree. So now the whole shaping and planting is done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to water it and put some bonsai pellets in. So the direction says use 1 teaspoon. So we're just going to sprinkle a little bit around the tree to make it grow a little bit better. So you're going to get about this much. Not too much. I think I'll need a little bit more. And you can just go ahead and the next day if you want to put, well, not the next day, just whenever you think it needs a little bit more nutrients, you can go ahead and put some fertilizer. I think that's about good, don't you think? So the very last step, we're going to go ahead and skip to the last step, which is to water it. So we're just going to go ahead and water it. Take it very carefully. And if you have some kind of cup with a lip, kind of like this, that would be great for watering it. So go ahead and just water it. So here's the thing about a bonsai tree when you water it. So the first time you water it around, it's going to take a while for it to soak up. But the second time you water it, it's just going to soak it up really fast. So, and this is our second time watering it, so it doesn't take very long. You see, it's soaking it up. And after we do this, we're going to go ahead and take it outside so it can grow. Just going to put a little bit more. So, you don't want to add too much water, so, you don't want to add too much water or else it'll overflow and it can drown it and it won't look very nice or grow very good. So, oh, went over the edge. And this is a bonsai tree. That's how you do a juniper bonsai tree. So like I said about the whole wiring thing, we can grow a little bit better. You can do that if you want, but this is really small, so we're not going to do that like I said. So this is how our beautiful bonsai tree turned out to look like. I am very happy with how it turned out. I learned a couple of things. So you have to be very careful when you do this. You don't want to just go, or else it can it's just, you have to be very careful because these little guys are very fragile. So yeah, and this is how it turned out. I really love it. This was a really cool experience. I'm really glad that we got to do it. And I really like the shape. I think it's really beautiful. So we're going to take it outside and let it grow. And that is how you make a juniper bonsai tree. So if you like this project and want me to teach you more things, make sure to click the subscribe button. So let's get this straight. So don't smash the subscribe button. Don't break it. Just click it. Same thing with the notification bell. Don't break it. Don't smash it. Just click it. And I hope you really enjoyed this episode. And remember, if Charli can, you can too.
Charli can.